Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media News. I'm your host, Dave Mead. We're going to cover some issues today regarding the floods. The floods that are happening over there in Texas. So, hey, Annalisa,
Hey, Dave, what's up?
what's happening? Let's first start with your world. What's going on up there?
Well, you keep breaking up.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I'm in Massachusetts right now,
okay.
and I don't have internet up here.
Oh boy.
So if I disappear, you'll know why.
Well, if you disappear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just hope you don't disappear. But I mean,
Because I'm using my data on my phone, so I don't know how much I have left.
all right. Well, if you disappear, you disappear.
Right.
I mean, we'll get you back somehow.
Or just slow. It will be a slower connection.
Yeah. Oh, so you're down in Massachusetts? Wow. So you're back up in. All right. I get it. So I won't mention it. So I've
Thank
been
you.
I I've been hearing a lot about what's going on in Texas and in the floods that are going on up there,
Yeah.
and the people are dying over there. A lot of people died over there. At first, what was it 166 that died?
It's already up to 166. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So 166, and when people are complaining, saying how come President Trump wasn't over there? So the
Christy
re
Noem was there.
yeah, who?
Christy Noem.
Chef Christine O was over there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And the president told the governor of Texas, what is it, Abbott? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is, and told him that anything you need, he'll get. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So Governor Abbott said that I need Black Hawk helicopters, I need
Uh-huh.
heavy machinery
Hmm.
to get through everything. So President Donald Trump says, "Well, you got it." He made the phone call, and he ended up giving him everything he got. I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
so.
I mean, President Trump can't be flying all over the place all the time. He's got work to do.
Yeah, I mean, if he went down to Texas, I believe that he'd be interrupting.
Yeah.
They would have interrupting the what do you call it,
Rescue.
the rescues down there and stuff,
Yeah.
and put people in danger down there
Right.
because they'll
Right.
have their eye on it. They'll have their eye on the Secret
Him.
Service
Yeah.
instead of doing the work.
What they're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, but what's going on with Musk? I mean,
I don't know. He's turned into a weirdo.
I think Musk already turned into a weirdo. Yeah, he's.
Yeah. What is going on with that guy?
I have no idea, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he's turned into somebody that we did not expect him to turn into. You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I don't know why. I do not know why President Donald Trump had him put him on anything because he's saying that that I said, look, I said the big beautiful bill. Oh well, that he did not include the Doge in there, the Doge money.
No, the
That's what they're saying.
mandates. No, no, he didn't. but President Trump already told Elon Musk that he was not going to reinstate the EV mandates. You know, the electric vehicle mandates that
Yeah,
he makes.
yeah.
President Trump told him from the beginning that I'm not going to do that. So he knew all along that that wasn't going to be happening. So
So
I don't know what happened. Something's going. I think something else is going on. I don't know what that is.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
but
because
I think I think the beautiful bill. Everybody's saying, oh, the Democrats threw something in there. I don't know. I mean,
well, they're all the bills are like that.
yeah,
They're all like that. I mean, that's not anything new. You know, when you're in the government, you have to give and take, or else it's not going to pass. So,
well, that's true too. Yeah, you know.
so he got what he wanted, President Trump, that is, and then I don't know what the heck the Democrats wanted. They didn't even vote for the bill, so I don't even know what the problem is.
I don't even know either.
It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know.
No, it doesn't. And Governor and CJ Ferry. Did you hear them today a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I had to run out, but I heard a little bit about the housing.
The housing, yeah,
Yeah.
the housing thing, and well, the Sylvia School, uh, you know, because the Sylvia School, they're making apartments out of that where they
Oh,
should
they
be
are. Yeah.
where that they should be making a homeless shelter out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But instead, they're making apartments out of it again. So
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's what they're doing that in Swampscott as well. There are two elementary schools now that are empty because all the elementary schools are centrally located.
yep,
So two are empty and they want to put more units. I have no clue who's going to go into these units. I'm like everybody's like baffled about what the heck is going on here. Nobody understands like what is it with these units where Massachusetts, at least the one post that I saw, Massachusetts is in the top 5 states where people are leaving. So who the heck are these units for?
that's what we'd like to know.
I don't understand it. I really don't get it. I just don't
I'll
get it.
bet you any money. I can almost guarantee off the top of my head that these units are going to be filled with illegal aliens. Want to make a bet?
Yeah, that's who it's going to be for.
Yeah, I'll put it. I'll put my. I'll put. You know something. I'll put my money on it. That's what it's going to be for.
Well, I mean, see what I think this is what's happening is that now that the borders are closed,
Yeah,
there are no more illegals coming in. So there should be no more housing going up. There should be no more units being built. Okay? I don't know if they're trying to put a show on and tell people that, ooh, look at all everybody's coming to Massachusetts. We have to build all these units because people are all coming in, and it's not true. And it's not true.
no,
So
it's not.
no,
Well, the Brad Kilby and Linda Pereira is the one that voted for the for this for this for these units to be filled. For the Sylvia School to be make made out of apartments. So Linda Pereira and Brad Kilby is the one that did that,
only 2 people voted on.
and I believe Sean Kadeem did too. So yeah, so I believe Sean Kadeem did too,
That's 3 people. Is
and
that the majority?
I think it's the majority. I think it's supposed to be 9, but I don't see how three people would vote on this. You know what I'm saying? So it should have been nine. You know what I'm saying?
So that you're not sure, is it? So did it pass? Are you?
Um, I believe it did because I think that's what CJ said.
Okay, so at this former school, there's going to be more units.
Yep.
Okay.
There's going to be more units. The Sylvia School is going to be more units over there. So I don't see why we need this much apartments here in Massachusetts. Okay. And again, you said even you said I don't get it. I don't get it either. You know what I'm saying? You know who's gonna fulfill these apartments?
Well,
Okay.
see, there's something going on here with the government because the government is doing this. The state government is doing
Mm-hmm.
this. Okay, they're getting help from the Healy administration. Everybody is.
Of course.
Um, and so it doesn't seem to matter whether these apartment units are going to be at 100% capacity because these people that are going to be, I think it's the state that's going to be renovating these the school into apartment units. I think they're going to get paid anyway. I don't think I don't think they care. They're making money on this. This is very corrupt. This is very corrupt.
Yes, it
It
is.
doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense like what is going on. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean, I told you that a woman went to go look at the affordable housing units in town, and I told you that a two-bedroom was like $2,500.
Yep.
She couldn't afford that.
Oh yeah.
So how is it affordable?
It's not affordable.
Why do they call it affordable housing when it's not affordable housing? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. Like I don't understand why they use that term when it's not true. When it's not true. Like why do they so they have this sales pitch that they want to make these units and they call it affordable housing and people think that they're going to be able to live in these units because it's going to be affordable. And I don't know what affordable is to people. I think everybody has a different version of that. I don't know. But um, it's market rate. $2,500 for a two-bedroom is market rate.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with affordable housing. It's market. People are getting all confused with the terms.
With market rate.
With market rate and affordable housing. It is not.
Affordable housing. I think affordable housing. Let's see. Affordable housing. I think it's uh, like maybe housing or something. I don't even know anymore.
No, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
I get confused about that. Yeah.
It's not the correct term. It's not the correct. They're fooling people into thinking that these units are going to be affordable, and I don't know really what that means because everybody's income is different. And most people I don't think can afford, let alone to buy a house, a rental unit. Okay, so what is affordable? $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month for a two-bedroom, $2,000 a month for a two-bedroom. Like, what's affordable? What do people consider affordable?
What does people consider affordable? That's a good question.
Like, what might be affordable to you, Dave, might be different to somebody else because their income might be different.
That is true. Yep.
So I don't know. That's a very broad term, and I don't know really exactly what that means. But
Yeah,
to me, it's just I think it's misleading. I really think it's misleading, and they should not call it affordable housing.
yeah.
They need to call it something else. They need to call it something else.
Other than market rate housing.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay, the other question too is why is everybody so hung up on housing?
Well, because how expensive it is. I mean,
So
I
so they think because it's out of their reach and they use the term affordable housing, they think they're going to be able to get an apartment because it's affordable housing.
I believe so.
Okay. But again, I don't know what affordable means to people. It could mean a lot of different things. So I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't. I don't. I really don't. No, look, Massachusetts is a very expensive state to live in. You're not going to get anything affordable.
No, you're
Okay.
not.
No, the taxes are high. The cost of living is high. So what what is affordable?
That's a question. What is affordable? Is it something that we pay that people used to pay $400 a month one time, 500 a month one
Right.
time? I
Right.
mean, is it that? I don't know.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
Linda just said something. So she says, Annalisa, the story about a American family who left the shelter in Tottenham and broken heart, but
Yeah.
they they were treated worse than unwanted strays.
Yeah, they had to. So in Taunton, that family found an apartment for $2,700 a month, more than the hotel shelter that they were staying in, $200 more.
Holy mackerel!
So they're paying out of pocket $2,700 for four people. I don't know how many rooms it has. I don't know if it has one bedroom or two bedrooms. It she didn't specify. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but she had to. But they're paying $2,700 a month. They're barely they're barely making it because that's high for them.
Yeah,
That's 2,700 is a lot of money for somebody that's not making a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. That's I mean
It
that
is
that would
that is a lot. 2,700 for I don't know if it's a one or a two bedroom. Let's just say it's a two bedroom. I think that's on the high side.
I think so too because I mean that is for a low income family or for a low income that would be too high for somebody that has that don't that low income
Yeah, if any look in Massachusetts, like I said before, it's a high cost of living state.
Yes, it is.
So people that make 30, 40, 50, even 60,000 is not enough. It's
No,
not enough. It's not enough money.
people gotta start. We need more.
60, 70, 80. It's still like not enough.
So people gotta like make about maybe 90 to 100,000 a year or something for.
Yeah,
Uh,
if they want to live, a single
mhm.
person is going to have to make a lot of money if they want to stay in Massachusetts.
Yeah, 100,000 a year, just to
Yeah, easy. Yes.
just to live here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. And
I
so
mean, go ahead.
so can you imagine the ones that don't make that kind of
Yeah,
money, how they're struggling?
yeah.
And then you got, Mara Healy, who's giving the illegals up to $45,000 per family to pay for rent
There you go.
for up to 2 years, even maybe even three. So they passed the budget for 2026, which means that the illegals are going to get their rent paid this
You got
year.
it.
Then next year they're going to do another budget proposal, and they're going to have to pay the rent for the illegals again. If Mara Healy gets back in office as the governor next year, this is going to happen all over again in Massachusetts. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It'll probably get more expensive, if anything.
That is true too.
And they're going to leave, and people are going to leave. And Massachusetts is already losing their tax base, which is the middle class.
Yep, they are losing it. Yep, the tax
And
base, the middle
the
class.
middle
Yep.
class, the middle class cannot afford living in Massachusetts. They just can't do it. They just can't
No.
do it.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the rich people.
Yeah, you're going to have, in the end, if this continues, you're going to have the people that have the money, and then you're going to have the people that don't.
Yep.
And the ones that don't, that can't make it because they don't make enough, are going to be relying on the people that have the money because they're going to be paying the taxes.
You got it.
And so that's what it's turning into right now.
Well, Healy betrayed us. So I mean, she betrayed her own
No,
people.
no. See, no, I totally disagree.
Okay.
Healy, when she was campaigning, said what she was going to do.
Yeah, but that she might have been campaigning and saying what she was going to do, but she still had betrayed us. You know what I'm saying, in a way.
But she what? You broke up. She what?
She betrayed us, she betrayed us in a way.
No, she did not. I don't agree.
Okay.
No. Because she's a Democrat.
And she's a stupid ass. But
So
go
she's
ahead.
a Democrat. She's a liberal. She's a liberal one at that. So how can anybody be surprised about what is going on in that state right now?
Well, she needs to be fired. But you know something, like CJ and Chip, like CJ said,
Yeah.
her Mayor Paul Coogan. No, wait a minute. Let me start with Mayor Paul Coogan first. Mayor Paul Coogan, her Moy Healy, Mayor Wu. They
Yeah.
all should they all should be walking out with handcuffs. All of them, every single one of them.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Because you know something though, with her and Mayor Wu, agreeing on, helping out these illegals and giving these illegal aliens, giving money to them and all. These people, this is communists. Okay, they should be walking out. All of them should be walking out in handcuffs. Every single one of them. Moore Healy, Mayor Wu, and Mayor Paul Coogan. Every single one of them
And
in
Ayanna
handcuffs.
Presley, and
Diana
there's a
Presley too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Everyone. Yeah,
They should all.
and they
But
all should be walking out in handcuffs, because you know something, because them are the ones that are taking our tax dollars, our money, okay, and spending it and spending it on the
on the
illegals,
illegals.
on the illegal aliens. Yep, that's what they're doing, and
Yeah,
it's not right.
and I don't understand how, if they're illegals and they're using taxpayer money, how is that legal? How is it that they are able to use taxpayer money to pay for the illegals when the illegals aren't supposed to be here?
Yeah,
Like, how is that also against the law, using taxpayer money to help fund the illegals? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I don't know for sure, and I don't know the law, But wouldn't it make sense that you're taking taxpayer money from the resident of the town or city, and then you're turning around and you're buying, or you're helping out the illegals? Is that not also a crime?
That is a crime.
Using taxpayer money to house the illegals and not the people that live in Massachusetts that really need it.
That's a crime. Helping out the illegal aliens. That's a crime
With
because they're not
taxpayer
even
money.
what taxpayers' money because it's not because they're not even American citizens.
Right. So how is it that they can use taxpayer money and spend it on them? That's what I don't understand. What was that comment what does he say? Massachusetts needs to what? Lower the state income tax?
Yeah,
Is that what
lower
he
the
said?
state income tax.
Can you put
Yeah,
that back? Mass really needs one of the highest in the nation. That's a reason why people are leaving the state. Was at 5% at one point. Everything is high in Massachusetts. Like everything. It's not just the
yeah.
state. Like some states don't even have an income tax.
Income tax base. No, they don't.
Like I believe Florida does not have it. Tennessee does not have a state income tax,
No,
which
they
you know,
don't.
which means you do not have to file.
No,
So whatever money you make in those states that don't have state income tax, it's yours.
that it. Linda says, read up on a federal judge who had the nerve to call the illegals to
They
protect
protect the
class.
class.
You just cannot make this up. Nope, you can't. There's a lot of stuff here you can't make up, man. I'll tell you.
Well, let's. I mean, we can just go on and on about it, and
Yeah, I like to. I
it's
like
not
to
gonna.
talk about it.
Yeah, but it's not gonna change anything, okay? Because what really needs to change, and the state income tax, the cost of living, everything is high in the state. Everything. The price of gas is higher here than it is down south. Everything is higher.
Well,
Everything is
Mike,
higher.
I saw the gas prices at Stop and Shop, and because we have a gas station, and usually I'll go down that
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
and sometimes uh, our customers, what they do is they earn points to get gas.
yeah. Uh huh. Yeah,
And like, say if you buy groceries, all
yeah.
right, you get so
Right,
many points. You can either spend it on groceries or you can, put it for gas.
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
most of our customers will put it on, on gas. So I go down there, and sometimes the gas is like 2.75 over here because it's a Stop and Shop gas station. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, I
yeah,
see. Yeah, but it depends on the points. But if you don't do that, I would say the average price, it seems like to be over $3 a gallon in the state, and down south it's under $3.
under
So
$3.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's
And they don't
amazing.
have, all the tax bases that Massachusetts has, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah,
I mean, these states that do not have the cost of living that Massachusetts has are doing just fine.
yeah,
Okay, a lot of people, I believe, in this state that I've talked to think that it's a good idea to be paying taxes. And it's like, no, it is not a good idea. They think they're going to get better service if they pay more taxes. No, you're
no, you ain't gonna get better service if you're not. You're
how
really not gonna get better service if you're gonna pay more taxes over here.
how do you even like come up with that? Okay, I don't understand that mentality. The government is not a business. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't
No, it's
work like
not.
that. It's not right. So, but with Mara Healy, regarding Mara Healy and the race coming up next year, and I talked about it this morning on my live. how the Republicans have two candidates.
Yeah.
And I think people need to be aware
Yeah.
that this is being done intentionally so that Mara Healy will get back in.
Yes.
So don't
But
be
we.
surprised. Don't be surprised if she
I
gets
won't be
back in.
surprised a bit. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, don't be surprised. So, I mean, it could happen, and it might be a good chance that it will happen because if history repeats itself, the non-voters in Massachusetts will not come out and vote, and she will get back in. That's what they're counting on. That's what they're counting on.
Well, I hope they don't count on it too much because with Mike with with the two Republicans that how many Republicans are out there now running for that seat, for the governor seat?
Well, there's two well-known ones right now, but there is another one that is
But
running, and then there's an independent that's running also, but they don't get any media coverage, so nobody knows who they are.
well, I'd like to know who they are so I can give them media coverage.
So now I forget their name. Adam. One of them was an Adam. Oh my gosh, what the heck? He's a Republican and he's a conservative and he's a MAGA Republican.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's not going to have a shot because the media is not going to expose him because they want the rhinos. They want Mara Healy. That's what they want. So that's what they're going to push. And you are not going to hear about the other MAGA candidate that's a Republican or the independent if they get on the ballot, that is, because they need 10,000 signatures. There's like 9 states that don't have state income tax. Yep. Don't
He's
have it
got a
as well.
point.
You still have to file for federal. Yes, protected class. Are we going insane? The judges are going insane. Yeah, you still have to file federal. This is state income tax. Yeah.
Well, we still have to file federal. Doesn't matter. But he's got a legitimate point there.
Yeah, but we're talking about state income tax. We're not talking
Yeah.
about federal taxes. We're talking about, so instead of getting taxed twice, you get taxed once.
Yeah. So Linda says, I believe we inquire rights to under
We
the
have
law as a barrier of the nation is to protect the class is autumns to that. Funny.
everything goes under the law. Well, that's
I believe
equal.
it's equal rights under the law, and the very notion of a protected class is anathema to that.
Yes. So she did write that.
Well, because the protected class, they're talking about illegals here. So, I mean,
They want a uniparty and illustration.
an illusion of choice.
Yeah.
They want a uniparty. They have a uniparty. It's not that they want it; they have it. They've been having it for a while now.
Yeah. Well,
There is no two-party system in Massachusetts.
there ain't. There's only a one-party system.
You have a uniparty, and you have the Mass GOP that is helping the Democrats by putting in two Republican candidates where one likes President Trump and the other one doesn't. This is done intentionally.
It is.
How can you not think that this is not being
Yeah,
done?
it is done intentionally, and
I don't
and everybody
understand
knows that.
how you can have two Republicans and one likes President Trump and the other
And
one
the other one don't.
yeah, it's like what? Like, this is so bizarre to me. It's so
Okay.
played out.
I mean, Republicans are supposed to like Republicans. So, all right. It's just like me. Just say I'm a Republican, which is I am, right?
Yeah, right.
And you're a Republican, right? Now, say if I didn't know you, okay, and I decided to run for governor of Massachusetts, and then all of a sudden you decide to run for governor of Massachusetts. Okay,
Right.
so I like Donald Trump, and just say I like Donald Trump and you don't. What is wrong with that picture?
Why can't we have two candidates that like President Trump or two candidates that don't like President Trump? They don't want to do that because they want to split the vote.
Yep,
That's what they're trying to do here because
yep.
they know that Mara Healey is not very popular right now. She's not polling very well in
No, she's
Massachusetts.
not.
No.
She. You know what? She lost control. She lost control of that whole entire. She lost control of her office a long time ago. She did. You know what I'm saying? So she lost
Well,
control.
it's the policies that are, ruining her, and they should be ruining her
Good.
because she pushed the renewable energy by saying she was going to close the two gas pipelines, which she did do, by the way. She did do that.
She did.
Yes.
Oh, how do
So
you know that?
in other words, it will force people to use renewable energy by closing the gas pipelines. That's what she was trying to do. That's a tyrant. That's called tyranny. That's a dictator. Okay? You should have a choice whether you want to have gas or not. She's even unpopular with some Democrats. Yes. Yes, you're right. She is.
She
But
got a
she's not
point.
polling well. Healy is not polling well in Massachusetts, okay? And the Democrats are trying to figure out how a Democrat can win. She bragged about shutting them down. Yeah, I bet she did. I
She
bet
did a
she
lot
did.
of bragging.
Yeah, and for what? And for what? People end up paying more
Yeah,
on their utility bills. What's there to brag about? Like, what the hell is going on here? This is insane.
it
She
is
is,
insane.
she's insane. This woman, in my opinion, is insane. And
Yeah,
Michelle Wu, the same thing. They're both nuts, and they're both bringing the city of Boston down and the state. Both of them are doing it. Both of them are doing it. So with two Republican candidates, where one just so happens to like Trump and the other one doesn't. See, the focus when I read those articles, the focus is on Trump.
yeah,
Okay, the focus for the Democrats and the media and the rhinos is President Trump. They don't
yeah.
talk about the issues. The first thing they said was he's a Trump supporter and this one is not a Trump supporter. Like, what is, you know what I mean? Like, what does President Trump have to do with anything? Because he has never visited the state.
So, dispute.
There's this pesky thing about renewable. It cannot keep up with demand in the world. Well, I mean, if you're going to rely solely on renewable energy, yeah, you're going to have power disruption.
Yeah, of
I
course.
mean, there's nothing wrong with what we have in place right now, which is National Grid, and they just so happen to have electric and gas for the most part. We have pipes
Yeah.
underneath where how your house will get warm in the winter, and you have electricity as well. What is wrong with the what we had before this nonsense of renewable energy came into the picture? There was nothing wrong with it.
No, it ain't. We have National Grid.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the grid that we have for electricity. Why do we have to have renewable energy and make it more expensive? It doesn't make sense. I don't
Renewable
understand it.
energy. I'll
Renewable
tell.
energy
Yeah.
from wind and sun. I mean, what?
What happens if the sun goes away?
Well, yeah, what happens in the wintertime when everything is frozen over and you've got everything electrical? You're going to freeze to death.
Yeah, she's nuts. That woman. That woman's a
What?
whack job.
And why? How the hell did she get in campaigning like that?
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. I'm like, oh my God. I remember her saying when she was campaigning that she was going to close two pipelines. I'm like, this woman is insane.
This woman's nuts.
Why
She's
does she
insane.
want to close down 2 pipelines? It's freezing up here in the wintertime. It's freezing.
And the pipes get frozen and stuff, and people
Oh my God.
trying to
And
kill you.
she got in. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to close the pipelines now.
Yeah.
And she's going to make people get renewable energy by closing the pipelines. This woman is nuts.
She's insane. She's so
And the
she's
people
wacky to.
and the people that voted her in are even more insane.
Well, she's wacky to backy, and the people that voted her in there are just as wacky as she is.
I think so.
I don't know what the hell they've been smoking, but I mean,
I
whatever.
don't know. I don't know what they've been listening to, but when I heard she was going to close the 2 pipelines, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? And how are we supposed to heat our homes if you're going to close 2 pipelines?
Yeah. How?
Oh
She's a
my
whack.
God.
She more Governor Moore Healy. She's. I think. You know. Her mind's twisted a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit. See,
A
this,
lot. I think her mind's twisted a lot.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is obvious to me. She is not looking after the constituents.
No, she's not.
I mean, renewables are fine, people, right, but it can't be relied on. That's right. Spain and Portugal tried that and it backfired horribly. That's exactly just like with Elon Musk and his EV mandates. It's like
Yeah.
President Trump said, we want people to have a choice, not to mandate it.
We do. We want the people. Well, President Trump said that. So we do. We want people. We don't want to mandate it. We want people to have a choice. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know.
and President Trump told Elon Musk that he was going to get rid of it. He was going to get rid of the electric vehicle mandates
Good.
right from the beginning. So he knew, Elon Musk knew that that was going to happen. And it did happen. And it did happen. He did get rid of it. Why
She did.
can't we have a choice?
Well.
I want a choice. For me, I do not want to have wind or solar. No.
Yeah.
Not in this state. No.
Well. You know. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you this. If I was either the governor or the president of the United States, you know, this is what I would do. Okay. And I thought about this. Okay. I thought about this. I would give the people the choice what to pick. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it's better that way. If you give the people the choice what to pick, okay. So that way, if they pick renewable energy, right? So if they pick renewable energy, that way they can't come back at us later and say, "Oh, how come you have renewable energy?" Well, we gave you a choice. You know what I'm saying? So if I was either the president or the governor, I would give the people the choice what to pick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but David, I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
you
But no.
you a governor or a president cannot mandate those things. They cannot
No,
say,
they can't.
I will give you a choice. I will give you this. No. The market has to do that. The businesses are the ones that have to give people the choice, not the government. The government should not be involved.
Well,
That's my opinion. The
yeah,
government should, unless it's a mandate like what President Trump said. Mandates are wrong. No, there should not be a mandate. So he got rid of it, which means now we're going to have a choice. So that means that the market, whatever is out there,
yeah,
people now can decide for themselves, do they want renewable energy? Do they want electric and gas separate, instead of the renewable energy. That's up to them.
yeah.
That's up to, and a car too. If you want an electric vehicle, go for it. I don't.
Well, electric cars. I'm glad I don't have a license.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't. I think they sound like it's a pain in the neck, and even a
Yeah,
hybrid sounds like it's a pain in the neck. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. All I want is a gas car. You put the gas in the car, and off you go.
I feel that.
Until you need to fill up the tank again, which is I don't know how often you drive, whatever it is, 2, 3, 4 weeks. If you have an electric vehicle or a hybrid, you're going to constantly be charging that vehicle. And I just think that that's a pain in the neck and I won't do it.
Well, some people at Stop and Shop though, we got this whole big thing at Stop and Shop.
Hmm.
But it's this electric thing where people just
Hmm.
charge their cars like for 45 minutes, and they
Yes, it
go
takes a long
into
time. Yep.
and they go into Stop and Shop and they shop all day
And they
long.
shop. Right, right.
And what they
Well,
do is, yeah, I've
uh,
asked people many times when I'm out there doing carriages, hey, you know, I said, how long does it? I even asked them, how long does it take to charge your car? Oh, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes 50 minutes. You know, but they said,
right.
but we're either down the street having a coffee or something, or we're in Stop and Shop or some kind of a store buying things for killing time for that time. I says, wow. I says, 45 to 50 minutes. That's how long. Wow. I said, you here all that time? I've seen people come in with their regular cars, with their gas cars, charge up their. Well, I've seen people come in with electric cars, charge up their cars for 45, 50 minutes, and have their regular car there and take their regular car on the road and leave that one there to be charged up.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
seen it happen. And I've asked people before. I says, why do you bring your electric car to charge up your car and then jump into your gas car and take off? I said, why? Well, I had one person told me, well, uh, it's for my daughter. My daughter needs to use it. So
Oh.
so that's why. So his
Uh,
daughter or son needs to use the electric car. So I said, well, all right, well, that's a legitimate reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was confused though, but I was just confused and I was just wondering why. But that's all right. You know what I'm saying?
but do you know why? Do you know how much those electric vehicles cost? They're expensive.
Oh,
They're
well,
expensive.
yeah, they are. My friend, my buddy Jeff Larry works at a car place, and he has a whole bunch of electric cars over there. You know, he has some gas electric cars. He has some gas. He has some electric over there. And he told me that he said, Dave, he said, um, that's Prestige Automart. So, and he said, Dave, he said, you'd be surprised how many electric cars we get rid of out of here. He says sometimes we get rid of five, maybe six, maybe seven, eight, nine, 10, maybe 20 at a time out of here over at Prestige Automart in Westport.
Well, I think, this is my opinion, because I think the people in Massachusetts have been brainwashed about renewable energy. That's what I think it is.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't, it just seems to me that whenever a Democrat comes out with something, that they just go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They'll just go out and
yeah,
do it, no matter what the expense is. I
of
mean, I don't
course.
know if they have all that kind of money. I don't
Hmm.
understand why they have to have an electric car, because we have already regulations for the cars so that the air doesn't get polluted. So I don't know why we have to have the electric ones, but if it's a choice, fine.
Yeah,
Okay, if you want it, fine. But I just don't see me. I just don't see the point. I don't understand it. The gas is fine, works fine. It takes you 5 minutes to fill up a gas tank, and off you go. With the charger, with the recharging station, you have to be there like practically every day to recharge the car, and I'm not going to do that.
Stafford Road is the flooding zone. Yep.
And that's the other problem with the EVs, with the water and it's all electric. Once water gets in there, I think they're gone. I don't think they're usable anymore.
Yeah.
The electrocution, they blow up. I mean, forget it.
Stafford Road Square in the flood zones during the heavy rain is definitely do not recommend even
Even
in this area.
the electric vehicles in this area.
Somebody's got a radio on.
But back to freedom to move bill. Yes.
There's a freedom to move bill to
Yes.
discuss. Oh,
I mean, that is I can't even believe. I mean, I just can't even believe that the state is trying to now tell people how many miles they can drive. That has got to be right now the icing on the cake
yeah,
for trying to enforce this renewable energy. This is crazy.
yeah,
This is crazy.
yeah.
Right. I don't know why they call it that either. Freedom to
I
move. What
I don't
does
know.
that
I don't
mean?
know why either. That's I
It,
think.
it's it's just like David. It's just like affordable housing.
Oh, these people are crazy.
It's the same terminology. Freedom to move and affordable housing. These people are nuts.
Proposal is going over certain gaps in miles and driving and having to pay a fee. Insane.
It is
Oh my
insane.
good God, man. This is insane. You can't make this
It is
stuff
a
up.
real proposal. What happens if you live in an rural area? Well, you're screwed. In Massachusetts, you're screwed, which is going to give more people the excuse to leave. Another reason to leave Massachusetts because now I have to pay a fee if I go over a certain mile. This is crazy.
They're nuts.
Crazy.
I'm
They
telling you,
are nuts.
these people. I don't know, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I just you can't make any of this up. I mean, if I
No.
tried, no.
No.
I mean, it's I've seen all this stuff on Facebook and everything too. So, and I look at all this in myself, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here with these people already? I mean, the freedom to move. So they're going to charge you a fee if you go over a mile.
They're gonna, yeah. And
Uh,
so, does that apply to electric vehicles as well? Like, what do they? So somebody buys an electric vehicle for $50,000, $60,000, whatever it is, and
yeah.
now the state is gonna impose how many miles you can drive. Do you know what I like? You spend all this money to get an electric vehicle
Yep.
and you have to recharge it, blah, 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 but you can only drive it for so long.
Before
Because
you go over
apparently they
the
haven't driven enough of us away.
yeah,
Yeah,
before you,
I mean, another excuse. I mean, this is going to be another, not an excuse, but it's going to be another reason for people to leave.
gonna be more. There's gonna be more people leaving the state because there's a lot more things added.
I absolutely would. Oh, jeez. If they
Telling
ever
you,
said, I would go insane. Because now they're trying to control what you're doing, like in your life. I mean,
yeah,
does this include personal driving? Like, you want to go to a friend's house or you want to go out and you want to have fun? I mean, is this all included in the mileage? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
or is it a commuting thing? I don't understand it. I don't know. It's so ridiculous that I can't even read it because I can't even believe that they came up with something like that. I just can't.
yeah.
So I don't know if that means total mileage, even when you're using your car for personal use.
Yeah.
So that's going to be included as well. Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be.
I don't know if it is. Or I don't understand. I don't
I.
understand how they're going to do this. I really don't. I don't understand how they're going to be able to do that.
I mean, this is crazy, man. I'm telling you, these people are just losing their minds.
How is freedom to move, freedom to what the hell are they talking about? What are they
Yeah.
talking about? I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that means either until I look it up.
And it's just like I said, it's just like saying affordable housing. That's what this is.
I'm
They're
gonna
trying
Google it
to
right now and find out
they're
what that
trying
is.
to sell you they're trying to sell you something, okay,
Yeah.
so that people will buy into it. Why the heck do you need to have a freedom to move bill? What is the point of this?
I'm looking it up right now. All right. It says here freedom to move is generally referred to the human rights and travel within a country and to leave and to return. It's also uh, encompassed to the ability to change one resident or place or work. This is the right is recognized as various international human rights.
No, that can't be right. No.
I don't know. I'm just
No, no, no. No, look, research freedom to move bill of
I
Massachusetts.
forgot to put build it in. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. To move. Come on. I didn't want to. Let's see. Let's see. Free. Down to move. Bill. Bill. All right, it's a I believe it's a HR 22 HR
Yeah, that's it.
2848 118 Congress and
Yes.
118 Congress of 2023 and 2024. The Freedom to Move Act. Yeah, it's the Freedom to Move Act. Act.
Well, you know what? I don't know how it's going if it's going to include personal use. That means people are not going to be able to go out if, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah, they're not. They're only referring to right now to the HR 2848 Freedom to Move Act. It doesn't even say anything on it. Let's see. It might. I'm looking at it.
You have to click on it maybe.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it. Let me see. Legislations, community profits. Oh, might have missed it. Missed it by a mile. Stupid people, man. I'm telling you.
If you get a different administration in there, if the people of Massachusetts can vote in a Republican, that bill will probably be dead on arrival.
Yeah. So we need to get a Republican here. And should have kept Charlie Baker, even though he was an asshole.
Well, yeah, but he left.
Yeah. Well, he left because of all the commotion and stuff happening over at Swampscott.
No, he left because he got another job.
Yeah, is that the excuse is that the excuse he
No,
told her?
that
No.
no, it wasn't an excuse. He really did get another job.
Yeah.
He was the president of college sports or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
President of college sports.
Yeah,
Hmm.
what is that? And I don't know what that is. I don't know what the name of that is. That the
Well,
organization. I don't know.
probably football or something.
No. So, but you got that bill, and you have he's the head up there. There you go. It's the NCAA. What does that stand for? National College is a College
National,
Athletics Association.
probably
National
National College Athletic.
is that
I
what
don't
that
even
is?
know. I don't
I
even
think
know what
I
that stands for.
I think that's what that stands for.
I
But
think it
yeah,
does.
he Charlie Baker was called to Congress down in D.C.
Oh wow. Hmm.
I think they were asking him about, oh gosh, I think part of it was the transgender crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
they
ahead.
they yeah, he's a rhino. Well, he's a rhino, he's a rhino. So, but again, if Mara Healy's gonna get back in, that stupid stuff that nobody, I mean, they're gonna take your freedoms in away. And I've been saying it now for a little while, little by little. National Collegiate Athletic Association. I was close. I was close.
Where I was close too.
National Collegiate. Yeah. Okay.
I was close.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, James,
So
for that.
yeah. So if she gets back in and
Yeah.
let's see. I'll say it again. If history repeats itself in
Which is
Massachusetts,
it's going to repeat itself again.
if people do not show up to vote, and if the independents do not help out the Republicans, Mara Healy is going to get back in.
That is true.
She's going to get back in. So if history is any indication, and the non-voters do not come out,
Yeah.
and the independents are going to vote for the Democrat Healy, because she's probably going to be the nominee. So you're only going to have one Democrat on the ticket, right? Which is going to be Mara Healy.
I hope we got more though.
No,
I hope
and
we
then you're
have. I hope we have more independent or more independents and Republicans on the ticket.
well. I mean, if the Republicans come out en masse all together, no matter who they pick in the primary. So let's just say that in the primary, the Republicans split the vote.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got, like I said, this Trump seems to be the issue with Massachusetts, and I don't know why. They should be talking about the issues of the state. I don't know what Trump has got to do with this. All right, but Trump, like I said, one likes him and the other doesn't. I don't know if that's going to make I don't know if that's going to influence a vote. Okay, but let's just say that it does. And you have the Republicans come out in the primary,
Yeah.
and you're going to have people that like President Trump, and you're going to have people that don't like President Trump,
That
right?
is true. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even with the Republicans, you got the rhinos. Okay. So let's just say that in the primary, the vote is going to get split. There's no doubt about it. Unless by a miracle, most Republicans pick one. All right. So let's say 25% of registered voters come out to vote for the Republican primary.
How many governors can you vote for?
What? How many governors can
I
you? What
mean,
do you
how
mean?
many candidates? I'm sorry. How many candidates for governor can you vote for? Only one, right?
Yes. So you have a Republican primary. you're
Yeah.
going to have Mike Keneally, and you're going to have Brian Shortsleeve, and I don't know who else. Okay. So
All right.
let's
So I got this. I'm only going to pick one. I'm looking at Brian Keneally right now. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mike Keneally.
Mike, I'm looking at him right now.
Okay.
So I'm looking at him right now, and if any more comes out, I'll be looking at some more. But right now, I'm looking at him.
No, you don't want any more because you're gonna have to split the vote in 3 ways,
Yeah.
and it's gonna make it worse. So let's just say Mike Keneally and Brian Shortsleeve.
Yeah.
25% of the people come out to vote. If the vote is split, let's just say 12 and a half for one, and maybe, well, let's just say 12 and 13. 12% for one, 13% for the other.
Yeah.
So 13, let's say that makes 25. So
Yeah.
13% goes to, this is hypothetical. 13% goes to Mike Keneally. He
Yeah.
becomes the Republican nominee for the governor's race.
Yeah.
But you have 12%, this is hypothetical, but you have 12% that voted for Brian Shortsleeve.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, in the general election, are the people that voted for Brian Shortsleeve going to show up and vote for Mike Keneally, the Republicans, that is?
Well, they might. They might.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay,
Well, I'm saying they might. We don't know.
so Mike Keneally gets 13% of the Republican vote in the primary, and Shortsleeve gets 12.
Yeah.
So now you've got Mike Keneally going up against Maura Healey with 13% of the Republican vote.
Yeah.
All right. He is not going to beat Maura Healey with 13% of the vote. He's not going to beat her.
Not with 13% of the votes,
No, not for the Republicans.
unless he's got 50% of the votes. He may beat her.
No, well, if the 12% of the Republicans that voted for Shortsleeve vote for Mike Keneally, now he's up to 25%. That changes everything.
Yep.
That changes everything. Now Maura Healey has to beat 25%. If the independents come in and the more people come out to vote, and Mike Keneally keeps getting the votes, Maura Healey is going to have a hard time winning.
That is true too.
If that happens. If that happens.
I wish it does happen.
Yeah, if it happens.
Yeah.
But in the past, that has not been the case.
Well, I hope it's the case in 2026.
So if the Republicans, so Dave, if Brian Shortsleeve becomes the Republican candidate,
Yeah.
and you vote for Mike Keneally, will you vote for Brian Shortsleeve?
I would vote, yeah. Brian
Okay.
Shortsleeve, I would vote for him because I do not trust Mike Keneally for one reason, because of what he had done in the past when he was under the Baker administration.
They both were under the Baker administration.
Well, but there was, I mean, I know
Yeah.
they were, but
David, you're looking at the Republicans right now. To me, this is my opinion. They're both rhinos.
yeah.
To me, they're both rhinos. Even though Brian Shortsleeve says he likes President Trump. Brian Shortsleeve says he likes President Trump. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I don't know.
Well, but if we have an independent in there that comes in, I'd probably be looking at an independent too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but then you know what? that's gonna pose another. I think that's gonna pose another problem for the Republicans.
You think so? Hmm.
Well, the vote is gonna get split three ways,
Yeah.
and it still might end up in Maura Healey's favor.
So it's damn if you do it, it's damn if you don't.
The point is this: what happens is the Democrats. There are more registered Democrats than there are Republicans,
Yeah.
and there are more independent registers or independent registries
Yeah.
than Democrat registrations. Okay, right? So the Republicans are last. The Democrats are in second place, and the first voter that has the most registration is the independents in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not there's no party affiliation. 60% of the voters of Massachusetts have no party affiliation. They're
Yeah.
independents. They're independents. And then you have the Democrats, and then you have the Republicans. The Republicans are last.
Yeah.
All right.
So we
The
have to.
Republicans are going to need all the help they can get from the independents to get Maura Healey out of office.
Well, I think it's gonna. I think it's really gonna happen because even the Democrats are already sick and tired of her obedience or stuff that she's doing. You know what I'm saying? You
Well,
know,
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I mean,
I think the Democrats are gonna help the Republicans out too.
how are the dem I don't know how this is. I'm not sure. If you're a registered Democrat and you get the Democrat ballot, how are you going to vote for the Republican? Like, how is that going to happen?
Well, I mean, I would help the Republicans out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like,
I know you're a Republican. I'm talking about the Democrats.
how would the Democrats help out the Republicans? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they would be out there holding. They'll be
No,
out
no,
there.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the vote. Talking about the vote. When they go vote,
Yeah,
if the Democrats do not like Maura Healey and they want to put somebody else in, how are they going to vote for the Republican? Are they going to ask for a Republican ballot?
that could be possible too.
Or I don't know if they can do that. Or are they going to put in? There's got to be something
Or
that
they
they.
might, or
I don't know what. Yeah.
they might just do this. Okay, they might register as they might be a registered they might register as a Democrat, but they'll probably go and register later as a Republican.
And
Like,
change their change their
yeah,
party. I don't know if
yeah,
they're going to do it, but if they're independent, they can do that.
yes, they can.
If they're independents and they don't like Maura Healey, then they can vote for a Republican.
Of
Okay,
course,
but a Democrat, whoever is a registered Democrat, if they don't like Maura Healey, they might vote. If there is an independent on the ballot, they could vote independent. They can do
yes,
that.
of course. Because they'll be they can go either way. They can go Dem or
Right.
Republican.
Right.
That's what I wanted
No.
to say.
No, 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 no. An independent can vote Democrat or Republican. A
Yeah,
Democrat will usually vote for a Democrat.
writing candidate.
Well, if a registered Democrat gets a Democrat ballot, what are they going to put in the red on the line? They're going to say we want a Republican. They're going to put in, let's just say Mike Connealy or Brian Shortsleeve. That are they going to be allowed to do that? Is that going to count?
That should
I don't know. I'm
that
not
should
so
count.
sure. I don't know how this. If they're independent, it's a different story. It's different. It's
But if
different.
they look at the ballot and they don't like what they see on the ballot, they might just end up writing themselves in or writing somebody in. like maybe a an independent or something.
Well,
I've seen it done.
again, if the independents can vote more for the Republican, they have a better chance of getting in. They will have a better chance to get a Republican in office, but it's going to be up to the independents. It's not
Yeah.
going to be up to the Republicans, and it's not going to be up to the Democrats. It's once again, it's going to be the independents that are going to sway the vote.
Well, if I don't, if I and me, if I look at the ballot and I don't like either one of them, I'm going to write myself in.
Well, you can do that too.
Yeah,
You can do
I'll
that
write
too.
myself in if I don't like either
Yeah,
one of them.
but that's not really going to help because most people are going to vote for Democrat or Republican. So that's not
Yeah,
going to help the Republican ticket if you put yourself in.
yeah. Well,
If you want a Republican in office, you're going to have to vote Republican. And I would say that they're both pretty much rhinos.
yeah.
But
So
but
basically,
they're
we
but better than Mara Healy.
having more Healy in there. Yeah,
So if like I said, if the people of Massachusetts can come together and you can have the independents vote for a
yeah,
Republican, then Mara Healy is going to have a hard time.
yeah.
You're going to have a hard time. So you're just going to have to wait and see how many people are going to turn up to vote.
I want to see. I want to see how many people are going to run in this governor's race in 2016. 2026. All right.
2026.
Go
Well, I mean,
backwards.
you on the Republican side, you have three candidates. You have one independent, and now
Yeah,
you have one Democrat. That's what you've got right now.
yeah.
So on the Republican ticket, there's probably if that guy that nobody knows who he is, Adam, I think his name is something Adam or Adam something, I
I have
forget.
to look them up.
Yeah, if he gets on the ballot and he gets 10,000 signatures and he ends up on the Republican ballot, you're going to have three people to choose from,
Oh,
not two.
yeah, three. So I'll have three. Maybe the new guy.
So the Republicans, if he gets in, might have three, whereas the Democrats have one right now. They only
Yeah,
have Mara Healy,
yeah.
and
So
you have
we
and maybe an independent if he can get
well,
10,000 signatures.
we and so yes. I'm hoping that he can get 10,000 signatures.
Mara Healy is not going to have a hard time getting 10,000 signatures.
No, she's gonna have it easy because it's a Democratic city.
Okay, so she's going to get her pals to help her get 10,000 signatures. She's not going to go out there, and she's not going to go out there, and neither is any of the Democrats because you never see them out and about to get signatures.
Mm,
They
yeah,
all do it amongst themselves. They do it amongst themselves. So she's going to get 10,000 signatures.
easy right off the top.
Probably pretty easy because of the elitist group that she's in, that she deals with. Okay.
She deals with the elitist group. Mm,
Well, she's an elitist. Yeah, the Democrats are an elitist party. They are not for the working class. The Republicans are for the working class right now.
the
Not
elitist party is not for the working class. Yeah,
no, the Democrats are not for the working class anymore. They're not for the working class. They're elite. They're the elitist party for the elites.
yeah,
So she's going to get 10,000 signatures. She's not going to have a problem getting 10,000 signatures.
yeah,
And now you have the two Republicans that are going to need 10,000 each
yeah,
to get on the ballot, and maybe a third.
yeah.
So they're going to need 30,000 signatures to get on the ballot.
30,000 signatures. Wow.
Well, all three of them together, while Mara Healy only has to get 10.
Yeah,
All right.
10,000.
So nobody's going to run against her in the Democrat primary. She's going
No.
to end up being the nominee, the Democrat nominee.
I got a feeling though that the Democrats are going to jump on the bandwagon with the Republicans. That's what I think.
Well, the voters, hopefully, if there's enough of them, if people can come out and vote, and it's going to be too big to rig, Mara Healy will lose.
Yes.
But it depends how many people show up to vote.
Yeah. So it needs to. Yeah. So well, that the Democrats will jump on the bandwagon and vote for a Republican
No, not the Democrat. You need the independents to come
independent.
out vote for the Republican.
Well, the independent amount vote. Yep. I wish I had the money to run.
The independent are gonna they always do, and they always do.
Mm.
They always do this. They end up swaying the vote.
Yeah.
The independents do. But if the Republicans can stay together, and let's just say there's 25% of them that show up,
Hmm.
and they all vote for whoever the candidate is, the
Yeah.
nominee. I mean, that's all. That's already good. Okay, and
Yeah.
then and hopefully you'll get the independents that will, for the most part, go over to the Republican side, and then Mara Healy is going to have a fight on her hands,
Yes.
and that would be good if that happened.
Yeah.
It would be very good, and it
They have
won't
a big,
be.
huge fight. Well, Maura Healey would have a big, huge fight on their hands.
Well, Mara Healy,
Uh,
because she's established and she's an elitist, and she has a lot of backing, no matter how horrible her policies are for the people.
rates are so low on her.
So no matter how bad she is, the people are fighting the establishment, right?
The
You
elitists are
guys,
not for the working class.
the people of Massachusetts are fighting against the establishment of Massachusetts,
Yeah.
just like President Trump is trying to drain the swamp, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So that is an uphill battle.
That is an uphill battle.
It's an uphill battle. That's why people have to stick together. That's why the Republicans have to stick together. And no matter who the nominee is, you all have to come out and
And
vote for
vote.
the nominee on when it's the general election.
People are nuts.
If David, you do not like Mike Keneally, who does not like President Trump, and
Go
you
ahead.
like Brian Shortsleeve, who does like President Trump, so he says. Okay. So he says he likes President Trump. I don't know. I don't know if I believe him, but let's just say he does. And
Yeah.
people are going to be like, "Oh my God, how can the Republicans, and maybe the independents too, how can he like President Trump? Oh my God, I'm going to vote for the other guy because he doesn't like President Trump." And then you're going to have the other Republicans say, "Oh my God, how can he say that he doesn't like President Trump, or that he likes President Trump? I'm going to vote for the guy who likes President Trump." That's what's going to happen here. I think that's what's going to happen. Instead of focusing on the issues of
Yeah.
what is going on in Massachusetts, people are going to be like, he likes President Trump and he doesn't like President Trump, so that's who I'm going to vote for.
Well, if Brian Shortsleeve likes President Trump, then I don't, like you said, you don't know if he does or not. I don't know.
But what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Do,
I'm
do you
listening.
do you understand that the Democrats use the same strategy, and that is they put in and interject President Trump,
Yeah.
right? The Democrats, Maura Healey is always talking about President Trump. She's actually blaming President Trump for the price
Oh,
hike,
yeah. Yeah. She's
right?
always blaming Trump for something.
Right. So Ayanna Presley does the same thing. They're always talking about President Trump.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren does the same thing, always talking about President Trump.
Of
Senator
course.
Markey does the same thing, always talking about President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And what do these two Republican candidates say? Like in the media articles, this one likes President Trump and this one doesn't like President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the people of Massachusetts, instead of focusing on the issues, a
They're
lot of them are
focusing
going to,
on Trump.
they're focusing on Trump. Yes, exactly.
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're
Said it,
doing.
and this is why, and this is why we're not getting anywhere because
Right.
there's
Exactly.
Moy Healy, Mayor Wu, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren,
Right.
Markey, right?
Yep. Yep.
They're
Yep.
all focusing on President Donald Trump. That's
All of
why
them.
we're not getting anything done around here.
Oh no, they are the Democrats are getting done what they want to get done. It's the Republicans that are having a problem.
Yeah. The Republicans, they're having a problem.
Okay,
Yeah, and
being
they're focusing all on Donald Trump.
yeah,
More Healy,
yes,
more Healy,
just
more Healy with their pipeline.
just like the Democrats. They're doing the same thing. The Republicans are doing the same thing as the Democrats.
Oh my gosh.
Trump. I don't like Trump. I like Trump. The Democrats. Trump, 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 Trump. The Republicans in Massachusetts. Trump, 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 Trump.
Yep. They're
Okay?
focusing on him instead of getting the work done. Linda.
That's right. That's true.
Trump
Yeah.
could Trump could rescue a drowning person,
And the
and
left would
the
accuse him
left would
of
accuse him of starving
starving the sharks.
starving the sharks.
So, but yeah, the point is, it's not just in Massachusetts. It's not just the left that's doing that. The Republicans are doing it too. The
Of course,
Republicans are doing the same thing,
it's back and forth.
and the rhinos do that. The rhinos are
Of
doing
course,
that. So, but I mean, the two Republicans have come out and have talked about issues. They have talked about issues. Okay.
yeah,
And they need to do that if they want to get the vote. They have to talk about the issues and not President Trump.
that is true.
All right. So, but there is a uni party going on here. There is a uni party going on,
Yeah,
and
Musk with his wow.
Jeepers creepers.
What the hell is going on up there?
I don't know. So why do they have to be so loud? So by focusing on making Trump
they're
the
impressing.
issue,
They're
it
impressing more Healy.
making Trump the issue takes away what
Yeah,
is really going on in Massachusetts. It just and people fall for this. People fall for it.
yeah,
They do, and they forget what is happening in that state.
yeah,
High taxes, high cost of living, people moving out.
yeah.
Um, money going to the illegals, money going to the Communist Party, and the communities are suffering
Yes,
from.
we are.
Okay, they're suffering from. So, and that is exactly what the Democrats, especially the Democrats, don't want you to focus on. So they talk about Trump, 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 Trump,
It's always Trump all the time.
Trump, Trump, Trump all the time.
Trump, Trump this, Trump that.
Now, if for the two Republicans, what issues do they stand for other than knowing one likes President Trump and the other one doesn't?
I like to know.
Yeah. So why is it that then that these Republicans are not talking about the issues? Like what? Where are like what? I don't. I don't hear
What?
them.
It's like this. What do they stand for? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So are they in the media talking about the issues that are going on in Massachusetts? Are they talking about the illegals like Jim Lyons, who was the chairperson for the Mass GOP before this other one got in? He is talking about that right now. Like he is talking about that.
Massachusetts.
But he's another one that is not supporting one candidate. He's
Oh
a,
boy.
he's another one that is not supporting any of the Republican candidates, either the three or the two prominent ones under the Baker administration. He calls them rhinos, and I think he's right. But that's what but that's what you've got. That's what you've got in Massachusetts. That's what you've got. And if you don't want Maura Healey, you're better off with a rhino, like that kid said this morning. I forget his name. Jack, maybe? I forget what his name was. But he said, at this point, I would rather have a rhino than Maura Healey. I agree. I mean, I agree.
Nah, you ain't gonna get anybody perfect. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and if that's the only candidates that Massachusetts has, then you better pick the rhino and not Maura Healey.
Well, no. I'd rather have a rhino in there than more Healy.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least, at least the rhino won't follow her policies. At
Well,
least, just hope.
you have to hold the politicians accountable. You have
That's
to
right.
hold them
For their
accountable.
actions, of course.
And Mara Healey makes that difficult because she's a dictator. She's a tyrant. If you
Oh, so
don't
is Mayor
do
Will in Boston. She's a dictator too and a
yeah,
tyrant.
if you don't do what they want you to do, they will threaten you. They will
Yeah,
threaten.
yeah. Well, they can go to hell.
Right. And
There's
you
hell
can't
waiting for them.
have that. You guys can't even get an audit done.
Of course, that. Well, the audit passed. We cannot even get that thing done. We can't get that that thing
You
passed
that that
in
should
Massachusetts, and we can't
that
even get that.
that should tell you right there that you've got a big problem in Massachusetts. You have over 70% of the voters that want an audit, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah, nope,
Did you
they're
know
not.
that Queensborough doesn't even have a hospital? What's wrong with that picture? What? What do you mean they don't have a hospital?
They
That's
don't.
bizarre.
That is bizarre. They don't.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm telling you, the Democrats know how to ruin things.
Yeah.
They know how to ruin things. So,
No, they're gonna screw up this whole entire the state.
yeah. So, with the audit, that's not going to happen because you have a uni party that does not care what you say. They don't follow the Constitution. They're not following the constituents and what they want. They're doing what they want.
Yeah.
They're doing what they want. They're not doing what their constituents want.
Nope.
That should tell you a lot. That should tell you a lot that they are not even carrying out the voters' wish. That is um, that is how people have their voices heard by a vote, and they're not even listening to that.
Nope.
That's bad. Like that's bad.
Yeah. Massachusetts, yeah. The Massachusetts, yeah, it is bad. If they're not really listening to it. You know what I'm saying? No, they're not.
No, I mean it's that is not how this country was set up. It's the Constitution says we the people. They have to listen to you guys. If you that's what you voted for, they should be carrying it out. But they're not.
Nope.
They're not doing it.
They're not
And
carrying
it's
out even with the audit, the 72% of the people who
yeah,
vote in
and and,
Massachusetts.
and that, the people that are your representatives, they all should leave. They should all be voted out.
All the
Or
state representatives in
all
Massachusetts should be voted out.
three-quarters of them at least. If 72% people, if 72% of the people voted to have an audit and their reps are not doing it, then those 72% need to vote out your reps.
Well, yeah. So the state, so the 72%, yes, they should be voting. Yeah, we should be voting out these state representatives like Cal Viola and Alan
Right.
Soria. Alan Soria needs to go too. He's getting older. He's almost in his 80s. Cal Viola, she's getting up there. Marquise needs to be voted out. You know what I'm saying? These people that need to be voted out because I mean, it brings into question all the time. Why don't they want the 70? Why don't they want the audit that was passed? How come? Okay, that brings it into question. Okay, why do you not want the audit? Okay, so it has to be. Yeah, it has to be. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do you don't want the audit? You know, because if they're afraid to have the audit and the audit starts bringing out a lot of things, the voters are going to not want to vote for these people anymore. So that's why I can almost put a bet on that one. You
Well,
know?
I mean, obviously there's a lot of
Yeah.
corruption going on. There I
Yeah, it
mean
is.
that there is.
There is a
And
lot of corruption going on, and there is a lot of corruption going on. There sure is. And you know something? Uh, and every time I say something, oh, there's no corruption going on. There's no corruption. There is corruption going on.
who says
Why
there's
don't
no
they want the 70? Why don't they want the audit?
who says there's no corruption going on?
Oh, a lot, no. Well, I mean, people that I talk to on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's no corruption going on. There's nothing going on. Of course, there's corruption going on. How come they don't want the audit? Because they're afraid that the audit might find like money missing, or where is the oh, this is why they don't want the audit because look where the money's going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's what Moy Healy and Mayor Wu, Marquise, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, and Alan Sylvia and Cal Fiola. That's why they don't want the audit.
well, Doge has already exposed a lot of that, and President Trump is little by little dismantling a lot of the federal agencies. So these people are now not going to get as many kickbacks as they used to get on the federal level, and probably on
Well,
the state level too.
they used to get a whole thing of Tic Tacs, but now they're probably only going to get one or two.
Yeah. So, but Massachusetts still has a problem with the uni party and they act like tyrants, so like they can do whatever they want because nobody says anything, and they're right, and they're right. So the 72% of the people that voted for the audit, and your rep doesn't do it, then they have to get voted out. Like, why would you want? And
Well,
and not only that, but they passed the budget for 2026 that includes
maybe we shouldn't give no state money at all. Maybe.
that that includes no, because the state money is, well, usually coming from the taxpayer, but sometimes it comes from the feds. But it's the taxpayer that is paying now for these services, especially giving money to the illegals in the Communist Party.
Yeah.
When are people in Massachusetts gonna get rid of their reps? When are they gonna do this? No corruption, right? Well, they live right. I think they are.
What they do? Live under a rock?
Right. That is bizarre. How can they not? That's really retarded. What a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
Talk about being in denial. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's being in denial.
Well, that's the people of Massachusetts. They tell you there's no corruption. There is corruption. They don't want it. They ain't gonna tell you. They ain't gonna tell you there's corruption
Corruption
over here. Only
that
I
is
know it's
that
corruption
is
around.
knee deep. Corruption that is knee deep. Are you kidding me? It's all over. How can you not see it?
Well, I mean, if they don't want the audit, I mean, what does that tell you? What does that tell the taxpayers that it's? What does that tell the taxpayers? Wow, hey, welcome to Massachusetts. We are the corrupt Massachusetts, and the 72% of the audit that was passed. How come the state reps like Alan Sylvia, Cal Fiola, Maki, and Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, and Governor Moore Healy and Mayor Wu, and how come they don't want the audit?
They don't say
Something wrong with that picture.
they don't say anything.
It looks like your money. That's why.
Elizabeth Warren says nothing. Ed
Yeah.
Markey says nothing, and they represent the state. And Congresswoman Ayanna Presley says nothing either.
Don't give these people any more money until they fix the audit.
No,
Until they fix the audit, the state shouldn't give anybody any more money at all. They should stop the money.
Right. Yep.
Piss me off.
I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's the voting now.
Ridiculous already.
And now you're that is almost now being taken away by 72% of the people voting for an audit, and then they won't even do it. You guys are not going to have a voice. You're not going to have a voice. Okay.
We're not going to have a voice. There's going to be a problem with that.
Well, yes, and there's going to be a problem, and either people, again, I'm going to say it again, they're going to leave. They're going to leave.
More and more people are going to leave Massachusetts.
They're going to leave because it's the this
because
is
they
because
they
go ahead.
Because that's right. Because they know there is corruption, and that's why they're leaving.
Right.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to apologize.
And that is another way when people leave the state, that the money that the state used to get from them is now gone.
Yeah.
Now gone. So, and Massachusetts is having a problem. It's not run right. It really is going against what people want, like the audit for one thing.
Of course.
The renewable energy is not working out. The freedom to move bill is ridiculous.
Of course. If you drive your electric car so many miles, but if you go over the miles, they want to charge you a fee.
They're going to charge you. Yeah. Right.
They're nuts. They're ridiculous. They lost their mind.
So you
Or Healy lost their mind. Mayor
Right.
Wu lost their mind. Markey, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren,
And they don't even
Alan
say
Sobia,
anything.
Calvert. These people lost their mind.
Let me tell you, I'm going to give you an example of like how Tennessee, how different it is um, between a blue and a red state. Okay, because a lot of people don't get this in Massachusetts because of the
Maybe I will.
uni party that is going on there. So in Tennessee, all states have two senators. We have Elizabeth
Uniparty.
Warren. What?
I said the Uniparty, and I'm laughing. What's this? Another Diddy thing?
So Massachusetts has a uni party, and you've got in
No.
Tennessee is a red state.
Yeah.
And now you have representatives that are Republicans as opposed to Massachusetts having Democrats,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, as an example, Marsha Blackburn,
Marsha
who is,
Blackburn.
yeah, you know who she is. She's a senator for Tennessee.
I
She,
know who she is.
yep, she supported the big beautiful bill. She voted for it,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yep. And because I bet you anything, Elizabeth Warren and Markey did not vote for it. All the Democrats said no. So in your state, all the Democrats said no. And in Tennessee, the
All the
Republicans,
Democrats said
yeah, all the Republicans said yes.
yeah.
Okay. So I mean, you're talking, very different philosophies here.
Yeah.
And so Marsha Blackburn on her Facebook page gave out the ICE phone number
Oh.
to
So the
people in Tennessee or whoever. Well, let's just say Tennessee. She gave out the phone number so that people, if they see and they know any illegals, they can call the ICE agents.
well, give me the phone number. I like the call.
So in Massachusetts, they don't do that. All right. So you have Elizabeth Warren, Ed Markey, Ayanna Presley that will never give out the ICE agent numbers because they don't like the ICE agents. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got that. You never, ever in Massachusetts hear your senators, your representatives, Ayanna Presley, ever say anything good about what President Trump is doing. Ever.
Nope.
Ever.
Diana Presley. Ugh.
Right. But in Tennessee, all the representatives that are in DC all talk about how they love what President Trump is doing.
Did you know Elvis Presley had a hard time with Diana Presley?
What?
Wasn't he married to her? Elvis Presley was married to her.
To who?
Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. I no, it might be somebody else I'm thinking about.
Ayanna Presley has got nothing to do with Elvis Presley.
All right. Okay.
Ayanna Presley is the congresswoman for Massachusetts.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. You didn't. All right.
No, it wasn't okay, Jacob. Okay, that's my video channel. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's my bread
So
box. I'm good.
so
Yeah.
do you
That's
so
my bread box. I'm all good.
in Massachusetts, none of the Democrats ever say anything that is positive about what President Trump is doing. Ever.
No.
No, they don't.
These people need to be voted out.
And another thing I want to say too is the representatives in Tennessee, the Republicans, are getting on the case of the Democrat mayor of Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ooh.
in Massachusetts, you do not have Elizabeth Warren or Ed Markey getting on the case of Michelle Wu of Boston. They're
Nope.
all sticking together. They want to keep the illegals there. Now in Tennessee, there is an investigation going on against the mayor of Nashville, who's a Democrat.
Yeah.
And in Massachusetts, that doesn't happen.
No.
No, no, nothing happens with that. Nothing like that ever happens. It's all about what President Trump is doing, and whatever he's doing, they're gonna do the opposite. That's all it is. That's all it is. And they're not taking care of what is going on in that state.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's a problem. I really think it's a problem. I really think it's a problem.
Well, I think so either. I think so too. So, um,
David, I'm not going to be able to stay that much longer because my data is being getting all used up because I don't have internet.
oh, you don't have internet. Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to slow down, and then I'm not going to be able to use it, the phone that much.
Yeah.
So,
So if it closes out, then it closes out.
well, I need to have the phone data for a little while, and if I stay on any longer, it's you keep going in and out and in and out, which
Yeah.
means that it's slowing down.
Yeah.
So I can't stay on for very long. I have
Yeah.
to probably get off pretty soon anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll try it again tomorrow to see how much data I have left,
Yes.
so that I can
Where's
stay
your
on.
computer?
It's back. It's back. In my apartment. I don't have one here. I don't have internet. It's not the computer. I don't have internet.
Okay.
It's not. I just don't have the internet connection, the Wi-Fi.
So you're just going back and forth.
I'm using the cellular data on my phone
Yeah.
instead of Wi-Fi. So it's
Oh.
eating up all my
Oh.
space and my
Okay.
data. It's eating up all my data, and it's going to slow down unless I can get more data,
Yeah.
and then I can stay on longer. So I have to go look that up. I have to go
Okay.
look it up because it's going to slow it down. So we'll talk again like tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we'll talk some more about the election and how the two Republicans and the Republicans need to watch out
Yeah.
for splitting the vote. When anyone tries to ask the other about crime rate, no, that's right. No, they don't have high crime rates in the red states. It's the blue states that have a problem. Um,
Yeah. Go
so,
ahead.
so the Republicans, have an uphill battle
Yeah.
unless, like in Massachusetts, unless the independents can help them out and get Mara Haley out.
Yes.
We'll talk about that some more. So let me
Y-
go, David, before this thing just
Yeah.
gives out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right, I'll
we'll
talk
try.
to you later. Okay, I'll see you later.
We'll try it again tomorrow at 6:30 and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
So
yeah. I'll talk to you
I
later.
will
Bye.
talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Uh, Bye.
I have to look at this to get more space. All right, I'll talk to you
Okay.
later. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
But anyways, yes. Annalise is right. My co-host is right. We need to, you know, we do need we need to get some more to run like independents, who independents to run. But so that way the votes don't get split up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to finish my broadcast. I'm not going to go anywhere right now. Um, um, and so I still have a few minutes left. So I'm not going to go anywhere. Um, and I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about a few things here. Uh, let's see. Let's see what I can talk about here now. Uh, Let's see what I could talk about. Yeah, I want to talk about the guy that robbed that church, and robbed that all that money. I mean, that is horrible. Okay, when somebody goes and robs a church, uh, and and oh, there he is right here. A man faces charges of allegedly breaking into the Fall River Church on three separate occasions and stealing donations, according to the police. Tap on the link and details will be right there. Let me see. Oh, let's see what the details are. Fall River, Mass. WPRI, um, Fall River, Mass. A WPRI, a man faces charges allegedly breaking into a Fall River church three separate occasions, uh, according to police. On Tuesday, July 8th, 2025, approximately 7:45 p.m., officers was dispatched to Holy Name Church on Hanover Street for a report of a break-in and a church, and a staff member observed a thin white male with dark hair wearing a red t-shirt exiting the building as the alarm was activated, but the suspect fled the area on foot. In the direction of President Avenue, responding officers conduct a uh, thorough inspection of the church, but there were no sign of the forced entry. All doors and windows were secured, and nothing appears to be missing. The interior was also clear with no authorization individual located inside. This incident was followed up by previous break-in at the Holy Name Church on January 6. $1,300 in donation funds reported stolen. In June of 2020, of June 22nd, 6,000 in donation funds was reported stolen. These cases were already under investigation by detectives assigned to the Major Case Division through the details and analysts by neighborhoods, security footage, and eyewitnesses' statement. Detectives identified the suspect was Joseph Costa, 36 years old. Uh, Surveillance footage from July 6th captured Costa walking towards Holy Name Church but empty-handed moments after the report of the theft. He was seen walking away from the area carrying a plastic bag consistent with those used by the church to store the donation fund. Identically, investigation linked to Costa to a separated incident on March 28 at St. Anthony's of the Diocese Church on Northeastern Avenue. The footage shows that the male matching Costa's appearance as get leaving the church after a set of church's keys and had been stolen. A witness in the church observed Costa taking two from a collection box. When Costa turned and noticed that the witness was watching him, he put his head down and had the witness with the two before leaving. As a result of ongoing investigations, Joseph Costa was arrested on July 8th and charged with the following offense: breaking and entering and building in the daytime for a felony, 3 counts of larceny over 1,200 uh, $1,200. Let's make it $1,200 to be exact. 2 counts in this investigation highlighted by strengthening of a coordinated response by patrol officer provided a swift documentation, preserved the key evidence, and identified potential witnesses. Our crime scene unit ensured that the details collection was photographed and evidence while detectives conducted the extensive canvassing review hours of surveillance footage and securing vehicle witnesses occupations. Let's see, quality important in this role of the community that assistance and vigilant of a resident are internal to solving crimes and in changing neighborhoods safety. We thank everyone who contributed to this investigation and extended our gratitude to the officers, detectives, and the community for their unwavering decisions and support. So yeah, I want to thank the Fall River Police Department for and I want to thank the Fall River Police Department for conducting these thorough investigations, and also want to thank the citizens uh, that helped out with this investigation and brought this guy to justice. And let's hope maybe we can either get this guy some help or maybe I'll just throw him in jail for a little bit and let him cool off. But we all know about the justice system, that the justice system is going to, the justice system's going to let him go. Because this is not the only time it's happened. I remember St. Anne's Church got robbed, thousands of dollars too, as well. St. Mary's Cathedral got robbed too, as well. You know what I'm saying? So these are the people. You know, um, yeah, they may need some help, but something though. But we know all about the justice system, how this is going to go down. So, but anyways, my show has ended. I'm going to read a comment right now. If the Republicans are on the extreme with the same social issues, they would win more seats in the Massachusetts General Courts, and Gary Mandering and is a problem too. Yeah. So thanks, James, for putting that up there. Appreciate that. And but we're gonna continue tomorrow at 6:30, and we're gonna continue on talking about these issues and why some of these rhinos, Republicans, focusing on Donald Trump and then instead of focusing on the issues. So we're gonna be talking more about that tomorrow. So, but I want to thank my wife Linda Me for watching. James, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching and coming on and putting your opinions inside. I mean, hey, your opinion matters too, as like everybody else's opinions. So, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, I wish I could, get you to come on too. You know what I'm saying? And if you send me an email, maybe I can get you to come on. And uh, maybe we can all share some light on what's going on. So that's totally up to you. I'll leave that up to you. Um, and but anyways, thank you for coming on, and we'll all see you tomorrow. And we'll continue these talks. So, like CJ and Chip would say, stay angry and hold your politicians accountable. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.